Okay, folks, the Bitcoin seems to be in some danger here as it is in danger of a collapse to 73K. That is being called out by many large accounts, and I've shown you guys how that is actually possible. But right now, there's a chance it could bounce as well, but I'll show you which way I am leaning, and I'll give you the evidence of why I lean that way. Let's have a look at Bitcoin, right? Basically, if you've been following my videos, it's basically doing a downward or a falling wedge pattern. So here is the wedge, right? And it's pointing downwards, right? And I'm looking at this on a 4-hour chart, not a daily, but a 4-hour chart. And usually a downward or a falling wedge is actually good for the price because they tend to break upwards, right? So basically, I'm thinking without interference from the stock market, then it's something like maybe tap here and break up, maybe tap here and break up, right? In the next 2 or 3 days. Now, we see that now this trend line has already been very well established. Like only about an hour ago, 2 hours ago, we just hit the top of that trend line. So that means it's respecting this trend line now. That's the top of the resistance right now, right? I'd hope we get, above. Let me move to logarithmic. I'd hope we get above this 94.6K area on the next breakout. Break the red line, break the blue line, and up we go. That would be the optimistic scenario. But let's have a look at this head and shoulders forming here, which has been spoken about. And now we've got almost symmetry now, right? If it were to break down, that would be a classic shoulder, head, shoulder with symmetry. So basically, the worry is that it can do that. And as you've been watching my previous videos, if Bitcoin does go down here, the target is something like 80K or low 80s. Even 75K is possible in an extreme case. However, if I have to flip a coin here, I've said previously I'm 50-50. Watching the way Bitcoin trade over the last few days, I'm leaning towards a bounce here. And I'll give you more specific reason why and a target for where it can bounce to. My target is no longer 101K if it bounces. I think it can go higher, like make a new all-time high. How high can Bitcoin go if it bounces? Okay, I'll give you guys the reason why and my target for the bounce. But however, before we get to that, that's the answer to the question of which crypto exchange does Pablo use? Well, Pablo uses a non-KYC crypto exchange. That means no ID is needed. That means Americans can use it. They don't see your ID. They don't know who you are. It's totally private. And basically, the IRS, the tax office, the CIA, FBI, nobody can see you're trading there. Even the exchange doesn't know who you are because it's totally private. Okay? And to find it, it's basically, right now they're having lots of promotions, doing a deal with Pablo, up to $5,000 of newbie benefits if you sign up, but only using this link. The link below in the descriptions, below if you're on YouTube or if you're on any other platform, basically go to my page, right? And then it's my Stan link. We click on there and it will be the first one that pops up. Okay, it's basically the first deal that pops up. There it is. And so lots of prizes, lots of bonuses, but only with the link provided by Pablo here. All right, let's get back to Bitcoin. So with Bitcoin, the reason why I'm saying this is because, look at this. We looked at, this is one of those famous chart patterns that happened to play out in the middle of 2021, that bull market hit 64K, pulled back here and then bounced to 69K. So what happened here is, again, we see this was 30K that should not break, right? And if it breaks, it goes to 20K. And that's what I had in mind. But look at this pattern. It's basically downward falling wedge and then one more dip and then boom, up it goes. I think we're probably somewhere here right now. One more dip and up it goes. And what would be the target? Look at this. With this bounce, I've been saying that I'm expecting the target to be 101K area, 101K. However, 101K is probably wave one, and you get a second wave that would take it higher, right? That would take it higher. Remember, this top was 69K, It was basically just above this 64K area, right? So I'm not expecting a new all-time high that much higher than this previous top. If we were to copy and paste this pattern, right, and copy and paste it onto what we have here, right? That's on the daily chart. But if we were to copy and paste that here onto the 4-hour chart, let's do it as a 4-hour chart, right? So what I have in mind is I'm expecting something like this. A fall from here, 108K, bounce, 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 maybe one more dip, right, to like 91, even 90, right? Freak people out, and then boom, bounce, and take out this high, but not a massive move, and then top out somewhere around here. Where would it top? I'm thinking something like 112, 113, maximum 115K. Because remember, in 2021, it was 64K, pulled down to 30K, and then bounce again to 69K. So it wasn't that much higher. It was like 10% higher. So 10% higher from 64K to 69K. 10% higher from here, from 108K, would be something like, 115, yeah, around 115. Okay, is there another technical reason why I give the two targets as bounce 101K? Well, it's because it's the bottom of this rising channel, right? 101K. I'm expecting to get rejected here, right? 101, 102, and boom, pull back, right? That's wave one, and then possibly I'll have to when we hit that, then I'll reassess. Possibly wave two, 114, 115K area. Okay, I'll show you why I'm saying this would be the case. Because here we go. If we don't use a log chart, and if we just use a natural chart, right? See how this says logarithmic chart? Now we say call it regular chart. Then we see there's this massive resistance here. I spoke about this in one of my earlier videos, but let's do an update on this. We've had the 2018 top, 2017 to be exact, 2021, two tops, and this was the pattern we were just talking about before. And then basically this would connect here with 108K area, right? 108K. Now, originally I was questioning this chart because I use logarithm chart, right? Some people like to use non-log or natural charts, and I question if it works. But so far we've had a very decent pullback, 108K, and a pullback exactly 108K. So at least the market is affirming, right? Is affirming this trend line. Is saying, yeah, this works. And you may also remember Pablo was the one who was saying it'll take weeks, even months, for Bitcoin to confirm above 100K. And now it's been like about how many weeks since we hit 90, right? It's been like 6 weeks, 7 weeks now. Yeah, it's been about 7 weeks now. We're coming up on 2 months. Within about another 5 days, it'll be 2 months stuck underneath this 100K area. So Pablo was right as well. Also called the 108K top, but I used a different method. So let's say if this line continues to work, which has proven to be useful and effective so far, then I've just posted a little price fractal, and this price fractal was from the top in I took that top in 2021. Just as a very rough indication. So very rough indication. So if we do get a bounce, we'd have something like go over the line, makes everyone excited, thinking, oh, we're breaking the line, comes back down. Go over the line again, makes everyone excited, and then comes back down. And where is this line? It's basically at 114. Let's call it 115K area, and then boom, come back down. So, but if we did get that bounce from where it is now, which is low 90s, like 91, even 90K is possible, and then we get a bounce, that would be huge for Bitcoin, and I think for altcoins as well. But you know what? As oftentimes what happens is the key to crypto is not in crypto. The key to crypto is actually in the stock market, because it's so much larger, right? Basically, they're the king of risk assets. And this is the chart that I want to show you guys of why I would be been saying, let's be careful of crypto. Let's be careful of crypto for the last 2 or 3 weeks. So one is we have this is a natural chart we use for stocks. One is, again, a rising channel. And I called out to my Discord 2 weeks ago saying NASDAQ composite, not the QQQ, but the NASDAQ composite has hit top of the channel. We're expecting a deep pullback, right? Probably something like here, 18.6 thousand. So far, it's still not there yet. We could have another 4% dip on the stock market. Boom. That would be ugly. That would be ugly for Bitcoin. Bitcoin could break down if NASDAQ composite actually does this. In the most optimistic scenario, NASDAQ probably wicks off here like 18.6, 18.7 and keeps on going up. And Bitcoin dips, like I showed you guys, to 90.8K, 91K, and then bounces in the next, say, 2 or 3 days. That would be the most optimistic scenario. Also we look at the QQQ, the Spider, that's the largest of because it's got of the stock indexes, because it got the 500 largest stocks in the US. Again, coming close to a top of the rising channel, pulls back, breaks this large trend line that is held for since August last year now, since August, so for 4 months, boom, breaks down. And I want you guys to see this. It actually checked the top. Check the top of this trend line, boom, comes down again. So this could be what they call ABC wave. A, B, retests, C, something like this. And this 565 area on the Spider, SPY, on the SPY, would be a natural place for a bounce, because you've got pivot top, which is the support resistance line here. And that's also the bottom. That area is also the bottom of this rising channel. So something like this, then bounce. So as I've been saying, the biggest threat right now to Bitcoin is actually not Bitcoin itself, but it's coming from the stock market. So if the stock market goes sideways, if stock market goes up or sideways, then I think Bitcoin will bounce. And first target 101K, second target possibly something like 114, 115K. But if the stock market goes down a lot and crashes, nothing survives. Not Bitcoin, not Ethereum, not anything. We probably have time for one more quick look at Ethereum. Let's have a look of where Ethereum is. So far, Ethereum's doing okay. I mean, it's actually found some strength on some days when Bitcoin goes down a lot. Ethereum is actually, kind of holding. So right now, that's, some people would call this a bull pennant, right? So let's say we have this, and we have this, something like that. So you have the bull flag here, right? And you never came down to retest, and then here's a pennant forming. So we could have something like, boom, like this, breaking out. If that did happen, we could also have a retest of the 31K low. If, again, it depends on if stocks tank or not. If stocks tank, right? If I'm expecting the NASDAQ composite to go down probably another 4%, seems reasonable, then we would have Ethereum probably do something like this, bounce off the 3180 or 3100 area, and then double bottom goes up. If the stocks stay sideways or strong, then both Bitcoin and Ethereum, I'm expecting, boom, something like this, right? So I lean towards a bullish scenario here, right? So I'm doing some buying at the support levels. I lean towards a bullish scenario, but just remember there are much bigger forces out there than just crypto, because quite a lot of times it's actually the stock market, the bond market, US dollar that determines what happens. Okay, catch you guys for next episode. Thank you.